So welcome once again. Today we're going to discuss the 5 best apps to support the recovery journey and also your hormones. So in this session, I'm going to share valuable insights into 5 incredible apps that can enhance your recovery journey and also can promote hormonal balance. So whether you're seeking support, tracking progress, or simply looking for helpful tools, just make sure that you stick until the end because I'm going to share a new app which I've never heard before. I only tried it on my own experience. It's like from experience, and I have thoroughly enjoyed the process until now. So for the first one, without further ado, I really would like to get into it right away. The first one that I normally recommend for women that are trying to recover from disorder behaviors around food and training, or are also trying to recover from an eating disorder and are working in conjunction with a dietitian and a nutritionist, is the app Rise Up, or there is also another one which is called Recovery Road. Recovery Road is an app that I personally use and I personally use with many of my clients. Rise Up is an app that I had some experience in with. There are a lot of other things that you can get from the Rise app. So, for example, there is a podcast and also some meditations that are connected and within the app, which is really supportive of the recovery journey of someone. But what are those apps for? Why would someone use them? So they are very similar to MyFitnessPal and Chronometer, for example. So it's your chance to actually log in what you eat. But instead of finding out how many calories it's containing a food, how many proteins, how many carbs, you only have a place where you actually can check in how many meals you have had that day, making sure that you don't skip a meal, that you don't skip a snack. You can simply write down which type of meals that you had. You can also log in a picture if you want. And then you can also track your mood and your symptoms. So as you can understand, this app really allow you to get in tune with yourself, understand if you are eating intuitively, if you're still force feeding yourself, if you're eating in a state of stress or in a state of disharmony, which is actually counterproductive when it comes to getting that mindset shift and the hormones back on track. And it allows you to really understand what is going on with you and how you can progress moving forward. There is also a place inside the app in each and every day where you can actually leave some notes for your practitioner. So if, for example, you decide to work with me, or if you're already working with a nutritionist, just make sure that you start using the app and that you share the screen with them so they can have access to all the things that you have been doing before the session, so they can spend a little time in your life before you actually meet up during the session. This is something that I normally recommend, especially for women that are really finding hard to keep track of their food intake. They do forget. They are not very mindful about their way of eating. That they are trying to cut down the amount of time that they spend on MyFitnessPal or other similar applications, and they really want to get some extra support and getting to know their symptoms connected to their way of eating. So it's not an app for everyone, but it's an incredible app. Both actually Rise Up and Recovery Road are both incredible aids if you really want to progress further in your recovery journey. The settings may have changed in Recovery Road, but by memory, you could not go back by more than a month to check what you had a month ago. So I find that that was really helpful because it's a very normal trait of women suffering from eating disorder to compare themselves to even to their younger version or the most disordered version, and that it's not allowed in the Recovery Road app, which is why it was one of my favorite choices when working with women. And before I go any further, I simply would like to say that I am a nutrition and dietetic clinician. All the apps that I'm sharing today is simply because I've tried them, my clients have tried them, and I got a great experience from them. But if you have your favorite app, or if there is anything else that you're using in your recovery journey that is helpful for you, please absolutely stick to what you're using. All I'm sharing right now is for entertainment purpose only, and also to educate you a little bit further. But obviously, don't take my words for just take all my words with a pinch of salt and just make sure that you do your own research and you speak with the professionals that are following you before making any changes. And if you're looking for someone to really support on your recovery journey from hypothalamic amenorrhea, from disorder behaviors around food and training, and if you want to get your hormones back on track, always make sure that you reach out to my team or myself, book a free call with me so that we can get to know each other. And then if you are the right candidate, I will be inviting you to join the period comeback protocol or the fertility experience. And I'm always excited to speak with you, ladies. So just make sure that you reach out. But let's now move on to the second app, which is ways to track your cycle. So I got two apps that I am a big fan of, and that's more to really understand if your hormones are completely out of whack or what is going on. One is Flow. I use the unpaid version, the free version for the longest time, but then I upgraded for a few months to the upgraded version, and I can honestly say that there were so many more resources inside the upgraded version of Flow, to the point where the resources were getting a little bit too out of hand, because as soon as my cycle was out of whack by one day or so, I will be prompted to actually go do a deep dive into it and find out why my cycle was one day late. So I decided to go back to the free version, and I simply use it just to track my cycles, to make sure that my symptoms are on track, that I'm ovulating, that there is nothing weird happening. Other of my clients are using Kindara. Kindara is very user-friendly. You can also share it with the nutritionist that you're working with your naturopath, with the gynecologist, even though normally the gynecologists have no interest in looking at your menstrual chart. But if you are, for example, part of the period comeback protocol, if you're working with me, that's something that I would like to see on a day-to-day basis, weekly basis. There are some women that have invested in Temp Drop. So Temp Drop is also another application that you can get access to when you buy the right thermometer, and that's very helpful to track the basal body temperature, understand when you are ovulating, if you're ovulating, how long is your menstrual cycle, and the types of symptoms that you present with each and every cycle. So if you haven't done that already, and if you have been on the verge of actually getting one of those apps and you're unsure if you have to do it now because possibly you have irregular cycles or missing periods completely, I still will say just make sure that you download it on your phone, start tracking your symptoms, because possibly there is also a pattern, there is already a pattern happening. So allow the professional that is working with you to translate that pattern for you, so you have a better understanding of what your body needs and what your body wants to do. And that's normally the work that we always do on the HA community during the Q&A or in the group call. We really go into the nitty-gritty of what a flow chart means and what to look for. The third app that I'm definitely recommending to all of you out there, doesn't matter what you're going through, that may be hypothalamic amenorrhea, PCOS, infertility, eating disorders, is definitely my favorite app. I use it each and every day, and I cannot speak highly enough of this app, which is Insight Timer. Insight Timer is the leading app, of one of the leading apps in terms of meditations and guided meditation. And every single day, without fail, I'll always log in into the app just to get 5 minutes of breathing, of music, or of guided meditation. Sometimes they do also run free challenges that do have also free speeches, so you can download the free version and still get an amazing experience from it. This is definitely part of my daily routine. It's also part of my morning routine. I normally start my morning with a cup of coffee, the Insight Timer, and my journal all at the same time. And I do some writing while I listen to some uplifting speech. And then at some point during the day, when I go for a walk and I want to really have a slow pace, that type of walk, or when I'm tired and I need a pick me up. I just sit in my cushion or on the floor, or I just lay down in my bed and I listen to a few minutes of guided meditation. I have my favorites. You can definitely bookmark it, but you can also choose what you need based on the length of the experience that you would like to have and based on the topic. There are some of my clients that are going through the IVF journey or some infertility journey. So whenever I'm on the app, I also search a few guided meditation that they could find helpful, and I tend to share them with them. One of my favorites, it's definitely one of my favorites meditations, is My Sacred Life from Sarah Blondin. I think that she made the app as famous as it currently is. So if you haven't listened to Sarah Blondin and My Life is Sacred, please just make sure that you do that today. It's only 11 minutes, but they're going to be 11 minutes worth living for. And then I normally bookmark all the meditations that allow me to raise my energy, raise my vibration, shift my mindset, especially between clients, because I don't want to bring anything from one session into the next one, because each one of you deserve a full space and deserve me in full energy, and I can actually make that happen thanks to Insight Timer. Insight Timer is not sponsoring this video. I'm just a huge fan, and I hope that from today onward you're gonna become a thriving fan as well. Now, the app number 4 that I would like to recommend, this is very new to me. It was recommended by some of my clients that are going through an eating disorder recovery journey, and also from another client that has so many behaviors, unresourceful behaviors around eating and training, and they both recommended me this app, which is called Mindshift CBT. So it's basically an app that works with a cognitive behavioral therapy, and it gives you tools on how to shift your mindset and how to shift your behaviors, specifically when you're finding yourself stuck in a position where you feel like restricting your food and you feel like exercising a little bit more. As I said before, I don't know much that app as yet. I've just used it with a couple of clients. I've just spent a little time just going through it. So that's something that is out there for you. I just wanted to mention it today simply because it has been working in the eating disorder space, and that's something that if you're struggling with, I really want you to know that it's available for you right now. And the last app number 5, that I have just started using and I'm already loving so much, is called Aura, A-U-R-I. Once again, A-U-R-A. Once again, it's not sponsoring this video. It's just something that I've come across over the past few months, and I downloaded it, and it's a beautiful place where you can have breathing meditation, guided meditation, uplifting speeches, and yoga all in one app. So from my perspective, it's an incredible app. I find it that it's unbelievable that some people have come up with something that is so comprehensive, but there is one thing that I would like to mention. So for example, when I feel like meditating, I know that I can go to one app to simply do so, and I know that they excel in that, and that's my favorite app, Insight Timer. Then normally when I do some yoga, some foam exercise, I have another app that teaches me exactly how to do yoga. Aura has combined all of this all at once. And sometimes the only downside is that I find it overwhelming because there is so much stuff going on. So whenever I jump on the app, there are so many things that I could actually sit down and do. And sometimes I don't even feel like going back to work because why? I could do a meditation, I can do a journaling session, I can listen to a speech, and then I can finish everything off with yoga. So why would I even bother about showing up to my work when I can just spend the rest of the day in bliss? No, that's not true. That doesn't happen. But sometimes I do find that kind of overwhelmed feeling of I'm missing out. Apart from that, which is a very personal experience, the app is absolutely terrific. So if you haven't really heard of it, or if you haven't tried it before, just make sure that you just go and have a look at it. And if you're using a different app that has been very helpful in your recovery journey, from an eating disorder, from disorder behaviors around food and training, and also a great app that can really help your hormones to get back on track, simply let me know. There is also something else that I would like to add in, and it's an app that is already connected to your phone, especially if you're using an iPhone. You may notice that every single week you get a reminder of how much time you spend on videos, how much time you spend on your phone, and that's also a great reminder of adjusting that. So if you spend too much time in front of a blue screen, if you're spending too much time working and you're not spending enough time outside to get some vitamin D, to live life, be social, that's just a reminder that maybe your priorities are slightly wrong compared to what you would like to achieve in life. So that app that it's already inside your phone could be a great wake-up call to simply change the next few months, because at the end of the day it is March already, but you still have the chance to get your period back and get pregnant by the end of 2024. That's what I wish for you. So let's simply do it together. Once again, if you don't know much about what I do, feel free to click on the links below. And if you would like to join the period comeback protocol, or if you would like to work with me one-on-one, just make sure that you book a call with me just by clicking on the link below. Thank you so much for being here, and I see you next time. Bye for now.